One of the things you might be wondering is what makes a building a basilica, and that one of the things would be that it has 7 altars. So you'll notice in our basilica, 2 in the back here, 2 in the middle, 2 on either side up front, plus the main altar. And that means a mass can be done at any one of the altars, and you're spiritually connected with as if you were at a mass in Rome. One of the things you probably saw in the museum room were poles with crowns on top, and those were from the original canopy that was up in the front of the church, because you would be ready for, if the Pope came, he would sit under the canopy, which was at the front of the church. Next thing I'd like to share is about the windows. Those came from Germany, from when the church was first done in the 1890s. And when they were originally put in, they cost $300 a piece. More recently, a few years ago, we got a quote on just 3 little panes, and that would cost us $2,000 to repair. And they're known for their detail and vibrant color. Also, what you'll notice that people find very unique at the church are the Stations of the Cross. At that time, the whole set cost $1,500. They also came from Germany, and although they look possibly like plaster, people are usually surprised to know that they are made by hand out of paper mache. And then there's some gold leafing as well. Very unique for their detail, the folds in the clothes, the expressions on the faces, and so on. And those are from original when the church was first furnished. This is one of the 7 altars. It's dedicated to Our Lady of Czestochowa. And the traditional story for Our Lady is that in Czestochowa, Poland, the original rendering, there was an army outside the church trying to defeat the people inside. And even though they were far outnumbered, the small group in the church, they were not being defeated. The soldiers even slashed the picture, and you'll see the scar image on the lady, on her cheek. Also, sometimes she's referred to as the Black Madonna, that being because they tried to burn the church, and the ash and so on darkened the picture, but it was not consumed. This particular rendering of Our Lady of Czestochowa was exhibited in the Pan American Exhibition in 1901. And you'll also notice very ornate on the picture is the frame around her. And that was done by Polish children from the Livonia, Michigan province, the sisters there. And that's why you'll notice in the bottom corners the seals of Michigan. And then also represented, as far as unity, Lithuania and Poland are the 2 symbols up at the top, and beadwork and so on. They actually lost track of this picture after the exhibition, and one of the archivists from the Felician Sisters, who happened to be stationed here at St. Adalbert's, rediscovered her, knew what the painting was, and that's how he came to find out her history, that she came here to St. Adalbert's. In 1920s, Joseph Major was asked to do the paintings inside the basilica, and there's some of his still original paintings here, although some of them were changed. These would be examples here on this wall, and you'll notice some on the opposite walls and up on the sides of the altars. The interesting part of this is that they're not directly painted on the wall, they're actually oil on canvas, and then those are placed up on the walls. And again, those are original. This one, for example, is Our Lady with the mysteries of the Rosary surrounding her. What we have here, this is a picture of Joseph Major, who in the 20s originally decorated the church. You can see here a picture of the original dome, which is Lucifer being thrown out of heaven. There's a story that goes that at that time the pastor and janitor were having some difficulties, and so in the face of Lucifer is the face of the janitor. In the 1940s, Mr. Major was asked to redo the dome as it needed to be done. So you can see the dome, it's been redone with angels, and he actually put the likeness of his wife's face in some of the angels. But those are real windows up there. And then they've also got the 4 gospel writers surrounding it as well. Now The original altar, as we had mentioned before, was wood and was broken up into the 7 altars when they made this a basilica in 1907. So the altar that replaced the wooden one was made of marble and mosaic, which you can see here. And they do have some mosaic in the communion rails as well. But although that part's marble, going up to the top, we've got all those figures, the angels and the crown are all wood. And the interesting thing there is they're actually freestanding, the way it's been designed. They've been up there over 100 years, but none of them are secured down. They're all properly balanced. And then that's in keeping with the Polish tradition. We've got the crest and the Polish tradition up at the top as well, along with the statue of St. Adalbert, our patron. Okay, one of the changes that happened was this what we call the Gallery of Saints, all along the sides of the church. Those are more contemporary saints, such as Maximilian Kolbe, John Vianney. But originally, they had more intricate paintings, again done by Joseph Major. And just to give you an idea of the history of original renderings of the entire parish, this is what one of the original thoughts was, to have a park-like setting surrounding the church. There's some natural underground springs, and they pictured actual paddle boats around the church, as well as carousel and so on, to have a very peaceful setting around the basilica. Okay, we do have a beautiful organ in the church. You can see up in the choir loft the many pipes that make up the organ, and those, although those remain, the physical organ itself, still connected, has been brought down to the main floor. It can hold 200 people up in the balcony section, and then the floor of the church can hold up to 1,000 people. And as a history, 250 families began the parish at its inception in 1886, and today we have 262 families that are part of St. Adalbert's parish. And everybody's always very welcome to come and visit and see us.